So what's going on, guys? CeeGee here today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, I don't want to piss on your parade, but today, unfortunately, we are going to be talking about a bit of a touchy subject. Well, touchy for me anyway. So we're going to be talking about premium passes or season passes, or basically extra content for games that you have to pay for, more commonly known as DLC, which stands for downloadable content. So in recent years, DLC is something that's really taken off in the gaming industry. Publishers are sort of obviously saying to the developers making their games, we want you to add this X amount of content at Y date. So we want you to put this in the game at that date, and we need it in at that point, blah blah blah. And it's creating a bit of a void in the gaming community simply because of the fact that everyone gets split up. So I'm going to quickly just sort of give you a little scenario, say for example. So I have had a job before, so I feel like I can make comments on the workplace and earn money without being criticized. So imagine you're working 9 to 5, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, right? Just a standard job, or even something part-time. You are busting your balls every single day to earn as much money as you can to make sure that you don't lose your job or whatever, blah blah blah. And you're making money. At the end of the month, you get paid, and you pay all your outgoings for next month. So obviously we're now in October, next month is November. Say this month you work as hard as you can, and then you pay all your outgoings in November. And at the end of the November, you say you've got £60 left over. So you go on the PlayStation Store and you pre-order, or you don't pre-order because it's the end of November, you buy the new Call of Duty game for £55, right? It leaves you £5 left in your little pocket. So you've got the new COD game, you've got access to the base game, you've got 12, 15 maps maybe, 30, 40 weapons, lots of challenges, lots of cool stuff to unlock, right? That's all well and good, but then 2 or 3 months roll around, you are so deep in this game, you are immersed, you are absolutely hyping, you are in love with this game, right? This is what you live for now. 3 or 4 months down the line, Activision come out and say, you know what, we're releasing a new map pack, but if you want to buy it, you got to pay either $12.99 for it separately, or pay £40 for a season pass, and then you get all the other 3 DLCs when they come out over the year. So you then have to go back to work, obviously as normal, and you have to keep earning money, knowing that at the end of the month you'll be able to finally buy the season pass. I don't think that's fair. I think that's really, really, really unfair that you should have to essentially buy a game twice. Because realistically, a AAA game is going to cost you the best part of 40 to 50 quid, maybe even 55. A season pass is going to cost you the best part of 30 to 40 pounds yet again. So you're essentially going to have to pay between 80 and 90, and in some cases even 100 pounds for a video game and everything that comes with it. Now for me, that's a little extortionate. That's really, really unfair, because I want the new Call of Duty. I really want it really badly, and I get paid £100 a month to babysit. So when that comes around, do I then have to spend all £100 of my money just to get everything, or do I only spend half of that and get the base game? This is the dilemma that season passes raise. It's the unfairness of having to spend extra money for content that should be in the game at the start anyway. This is what I don't understand, right? Sledgehammer have had 3 years to make Call of Duty World War II. So why can't the 12 or 15 maps they're going to add over the next year, why couldn't they have just added them in at the game's start, because they've had 3 years to make it? I'm not calling out Sledgehammer. No way. I think them guys are going to do a great job with World War II. But this is Activision doing this. Activision are saying, well, we need more money on top of the supply drop, so we want them to have a season pass. And it's really, really just unfair. It's just so cliche now that you have to pay so much money for a video game. And quite frankly, it sucks. It shouldn't be that way at all. You even get these story games coming with DLCs now, and premium passes and season passes, like Watch Dogs and Mafia. Like, why do story games have season passes? A story game is a story game because you play one story and you finish it, and that's it. Why would you pay an extra £40 to have the first half of the story and then the second half of the story cut into 4 chunks given to you over the space of a year? Is that not just the dumbest idea you've ever heard of? Yes, it is, I hear you say. Thank you. And that's because the Season Pass, Premium Pass, DLC layout at the moment is so broken that it's just ruining the gaming industry. Everything's starting to go peak tong because publishers don't want to lose a little bit of money and make their fans enjoy the game more. Battlefield 1 is a prime example of this. Battlefield 1's numbers have dropped significantly because people don't have access to the Premium Pass or don't have access to They Should Not Pass and The Name of the Tsar. When the free weekend or Revolution, I think it was out, and people could play Name of the Tsar for 2 weeks, the player numbers spiked again and were higher than I think they've ever been. And then as soon as it finished, they almost like halved. That just goes to show that when you give the players the content for free, they will lap it up like a thirsty dog. But if you have to say to them, it's going to be hidden behind a paywall, you cannot have it until you pay this extra money, no one's going to buy it, because it's just getting to the point of ridiculousness where you have to pay so much money for what should be in the game at launch, and it's super unfair. So obviously now we've spoken about the problem, how do we overcome it? There's two simple answers to this. Is one, as a gaming community, we either just have to rebel and just say no, we're not buying it, and hope that eventually they give up, which I doubt they will. Or we, number two, have to look for a different way of making these companies money. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. These corporate companies like Activision, like EA, they all want the money. They all need the money to keep themselves going because they are huge, huge companies. So obviously, Black Ops 3, very, very famous game because 2/3 of the money that game made came purely from supply drops. Right, that's a lot of money when you take into the consideration that 1/3 of that was Season Pass and the base game, and then the other 2/3 of that were purely from people buying supply drops. That's a lot of cash for Activision. So the thing is, why can't, this is my proposition, why can't big companies like Activision, EA, instead of having a Season Pass, just take out the Season Pass and increase the price of supply drops by like 50p? Because realistically, supply drops are only going to get you cosmetic items. Fair enough, if you want to spend 100 quid looking cool, go for it, be my guest, I don't care. I personally am not going to spend hundreds of pounds getting cosmetic items and making my gun golden or shiny or whatever. Okay, you look like a badass on the battlefield, and in some cases you might look like a bit of a dick, but you're happy, you've spent your money the way you want to spend it. You shouldn't be obliged to spend it on new maps and new content. So that's kind of my proposition to these big companies. They're never going to see it. I mean, I'm well aware of that. But if this video did ever get a little bit of momentum and say make it to someone at EA or Activision, then I would be really happy to tell them that what they're doing is wrong. You know, what they're doing is essentially daylight robbery, because they're taking people's money for stuff that should be in the game at launch, and it's really starting to grind my gears, you know, it's really starting to annoy me. But that's today's video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. I kind of just needed to vent about this, and there's no one really I could talk to to vent about it, because not many people give a crap, and I feel like the best way to vent is probably just to talk to a camera and then upload it onto the internet, and whoever wants to watch it can watch. So I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, remember to smash the thumbs up button, and of course remember to subscribe if you haven't already. It is free after all, unlike season passes, and make sure you come back next time for a brand spanking new video. I'll see you guys then with some fresh content. Peace.